Hey gang, how we doing today? Well, we're in for another ride, a little rough ride in the songwriting chapters of our lives. Here at CreatiVets.org, which I'm so proud to be a part of, and I know you people out there are also proud to be a part of. So if you could ever just take some of your vast sums of income that you got from your great uncle, who happened to be the commander-in-chief of the Pacific Fleet. He had a lot of money. He gave a lot to you. So give back. Give back. All right? Okay, so today we're going to work on today's songs. Todays songs. Baby, you can drive my car. And hello, oh, that's HELLOGOODBYE. Hello, goodbye. By the BEATLES, by the Beatles. We're going to do Beatles songs today. We love them Beatles songs, don't we? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. We love them. All right, then. Let's get on with it. We'll just post that. All right. Now, you guys that have been on this website before, you know the drill, right? The drill is to go online and type in Baby You Can Drive My Car by the Beatles, and the lyrics will boom. Boom. They come right out. And remember to click on the little very vaguely light gray arrow at the bottom of the lyric, and you'll see it go boom. You'll see the whole lyric. Because when you first open it, it only shows you the first verse and a chorus. And you're thinking, man, that's a short song. But actually, there's more to it. And so you want to go and do that. Yes, you do. Now, I have to put my phone on silence because we don't want any skullduggery going on while I'm trying to have a session with you guys out there. You guys and you gals out there, I might say. We got a couple of gals out there that joining in the conversaciones. People may wonder why I always say at the end of my sessions, keep it on the double nickel, see you on the flip flop, and adios amigos. I just thought, hey Nina, how you doing, girl? Good to see you aboard. Good to have you aboard. I've always thought that, keep it on the double nickel was pretty funny. That was back in the day, you remember the first huge gas shortage? It was around 1971, and they dropped the speed limit. The feds dropped the speed limit to 55. So the truckers would say, keep it on the double nickel. In other words, be good, be safe, right? See you on the flip-flop, which is the trucker's way of seeing you. I'll see you on the return trip. I'll see you. Because they're on Breaker 19, I think it is. They're on, I guess they call it stations, Station 19, or channel. They're on Channel 19, the truckers are. So they talk to each other. And then I say adios amigos because, hey, Spanish is the loving tongue. Joe Ely said, Spanish is the loving tongue. So I'm just spreading the love to y'all. When I say adios amigos, that's the most loving way for me to say goodbye. So that's why I do that. All right, well, so first things first. Yeah, you're right. Got to load up the plasma for the show. Not hot enough. Gotta go over here, gotta heat them up. Heat them up. Let's go 25 seconds, that should do it. All right, so Nina, you know that today's songs are Baby You Can Drive My Car and Hello Goodbye by the Beatles. I could literally do, okay, I'm a Beatle fan. Shut up, okay? I could literally do this whole program on nothing but Beatles songs from beginning to end. And then we could go to Bob Dylan songs, then we could go to Rolling Stone songs, then we go to James Taylor songs, then we go to Joni Mitchell songs, and we go to The Boss, Bruce Springsteen, and we go to Sting. These people wrote classic songs that never die. Beck, oh my God, he's still doing it. Coldplay, shut up. Coldplay, they rule. Did you send me a message, Nina? Did you send me a message in my email, or did you? Did you want to? What do you mean by did you get my message? I'm not sure. I'm reading your things. It says good morning and thanks, and yeah, I get all that. But were you trying to get in touch with me to critique a song? If you are, then like I said, get in touch with CreatiVets, and they will shoot you on over to me, and we can we can Skype and FaceTime, and we can talk about your songs. Absolutely. If that's what you're referring to. No. Oh, okay. At any rate, I'm reading you loud and clear. I got you. I'm following you on your little thing over here. Well, it's actually over here. Yeah. And I appreciate you. Having the conversations with me. I really do. Soon I'm going to have some real glasses that are going to look kind of like this, not quite as big. They're going to be a little narrower. It's so weird to be backwards. So anyway, all right, good. I will check. I will check my email and my. Did you text or email me? Oh God, I don't know what's going on. It's all so crazy. It's crazy, people. It's crazy out there. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see, what time is it? I guess, let's see, we got, what did I do with my lyric sheets? They're over here. Okay, let me, I gotta print mine out. I know that, you guys are gonna go on the intranet and, yes, message CreatiVets. Good. Yeah. And they will hook us up. Let me see, let me go to my, I have, I'm a professional songwriter when I'm not doing this. And because of that, I keep thousands of lyrics that I refer to when I'm writing. I like to, use the songs as references. Like we're doing every day on our session. We're talking about songs, and we're showing how we can use that song as a template to write our own song. Well, I do the same thing, and let me just key in. All the professional musicians that I know are doing this all the time. They're always referring to other songs, either contemporary, to get the contemporary vibe going, or they refer to sometimes to older songs, right? Like, you know, if I'm writing a country song, I might go to an old George Jones hit, you know, or an old another master songwriter is the Hag, man, Merle Haggard. Oh, shut up! He's so good, you know, so good. He's my biggest country hero in the whole wide world. Besides Rodney Crowell, which I don't know, he's not really country, but he's country. You know what I mean? Rodney's my main man. Rodney's my main man. I'm telling you. Whenever I write a song, I always ask myself, would Rodney like this song? And if Rodney would like it, I'm good. That's my bar. It's kind of high. It's kind of high. It's kind of way up there. But hey, when you're a pro, you got to set your bar high. That's what you got to do. Okay, I'm looking at lyrics here. Let's go get some lyrics. Baby, you can drive my car. That'll be under Beatles. Let's go to Beatles. I've been very busy, so I've not had a chance to download these lyrics. Drive My Car is the name of the song. Uh-oh. I better change that. Song is called D-R-I-V-M-Y-C-A, car. Drive My Car. All right? All right. Let's get that song. Opening it up here, and it's the opening song on Rubber Soul. And man, what a song. What a song. It's such a great song. We're going to go print, and we're going to go just this page, current page. And we're going to print that baby. And we'll just get started on this one. If I have to print the other one, I'll go in later and get that one. But, and you know, when I'm doing these songs with you all, I don't rehearse this ahead of time. I guess maybe you figured that out. But my point is, you can do this with any song. You can go in and look at all the elements of songwriting, because we talk about how to write a great story and how to keep the arc of interest. Remember we talk about the arc of interest? How to keep that arc of interest going, right? Let me just flip to a new page here to make sure, in case I got notes I want to write. I'm just making notes here. Yeah, I always talk about the arc of interest rather than the arc of the story, because not all songs are stories, right? Some songs are just how I feel, emotions, like the song "Feelings," nothing more than feelings, and that's all emotions. Dust in the wind, all we are is dust in the wind, and there's a billion songs that are nothing but emotion. So, rather than the arc of the story, I like to call it the arc of interest. So, you know, we create. And we keep perpetuating and keep the arc of interest climbing by our words, our line rhythm, our rhyme scheme, our melodies, and our chords. And the secret weapon, texture. That's a good one. Texture is a good one, right? Now, I haven't been watching the board for a minute, so you may have made some comments and I didn't hear them. Okay, no comments, good. All right, let's see. Okay, Drive My Car. Let's open up Spotify and let's get on with this show here. It's already 1/4 after, so we should have everybody on board that's going to be here. Let's see. There it is. Okay, let's listen to this song. You got your lyrics. Drive My Car is the name of the song. And the reason why I'm using this song today is because one of the techniques we can use in telling our story is just having a conversation with someone. All you need to do is just have a conversation with someone. And this is the first song that I thought of because I knew it was a conversation. The next one we're going to work on is Hello Goodbye, which is also a conversation, right? But we'll get to that one later. Let's listen to this song. Oh wait. Oh, I guess we're going to just listen on the speakers here. I think it'll be loud enough. Let's see. Oh, what a great song. What a great song. Woo! Just love that song. And we definitely have a conversation going on here. No doubt about it. Let's see. Let's see if we can figure out a way to get this a little closer to me. Put this over here. Okay. And yeah. Okay. So one way we can write a song is strictly by having a conversation. Now, obviously, there's several ways we can have a conversation. Let's start with the simplest way. I can have a conversation with myself. I can have an inner conversation. I can talk to myself in the mirror in the morning when I wake up. I can look at myself and go, oh my God, what's going on with you? You know, you really look like you're a mess, blah, blah, blah. You're this, you're that, me, right? You can do that. The second thing you can do is have a conversation with me and you, right? The other way we can have one is me and her. She says and I said, right? Now, there's a difference between those two, okay? There's an emotional difference between those two. Let's go over that. Okay, if I say me and I'm talking to you and you say, what do you get from that? What I'm doing is I'm making it the most personal it can be, because once I go me and you, I'm no longer talking to the listener, you. I'm talking to, or the listener, I'm talking to me and you. So I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm not talking to the listener. I'm talking to between. So you're like a little mouse on a wall or fly on a wall, and you're listening to a conversation between two people, right? As if I had a little lavalier mic hidden on me, and you were tuning in on your iPhone into your Spy on Rick app, which is out there, I'm sure. There's an app that says Spy on Rick. You can just pick it up at your local app store. So it's most intimate, and it forces the listener to be in the song, right? Because now, in order for you to be interested in the song, in order for you to be interested, you've got to relate to this person and that person, me and you, because I'm not talking to the listener anymore. I'm talking to the character. So it's me and you, right? And that is the most intimate form that you can relate to the listener with, right? Me and her, I'm now talking to the listener about this person. So I'm going, I said, I love you. She said, I don't believe you. You see how I'm still talking to the listener? See how that is? It's kind of cool, isn't it? It's different. So it's not as intimate with the other character. This other character is removed, right? I'm talking about her. Now, one of the things that I can do when it's me and her is I can say things about her that I wouldn't say to her, meaning you. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't turn to you and go, like in the song, Baby Loves Me Just the Way That I Am. That's a me and him song. And he says, whenever a thunderstorm, whenever my thunderstorms roll through, he sticks with me until the rain gets through, right? Now, I wouldn't say to my partner, I wouldn't say, hey, whenever my thunder rolls in, you stay with me until the rain runs through. And this person is thinking, excuse me? You what? Thunder, rain, what? I am kind of busy right now. I think I'm just going to have to take a little break. See what I mean? It's like, it sounds too esoteric and poetic-y and so forth. But if I say me and him or her, then I can get poetic and I can say things about that person that I wouldn't necessarily say in a live conversation, right? So that's another, interesting thing about me and her as opposed to me and you. Now, I have to make the conversation between me and you, I have to make the conversation sound believable in the moment. You see what I mean? It has to sound like, yellow, hey, Robert, good to see you. Yeah, scratch another one for me. Boom. We got Nina. Boom. We got Robert. Boom. Good. Good to see you guys. All right, so so that's what I'm trying to say. Is there's a distinct difference between me and her and me and her, or me and you. Now, once again, to recap, if I'm going to talk to you, I'm not talking to the listener. This has to sound spontaneous, right? Unless, there's always a catch, right? Unless I'm referring to something like a poem. Like Shakespeare once said, the rain always comes before the sun or something. I'm not up on my Shakespeare right now. So I could just sneak that in by saying someone else said this. Hey, Kyle. All right. Hey, Rick, put another tick mark up for me. Glad to see you. All right. Yay. Good to see you, bro. Let me see. I don't have my picture up right now. I'm looking at Spotify. So let me see if did you do a thing on me? Did you? Okay, there I am. I got to make the Spotify thing a little smaller. Let's make that smaller. And then let's move this over here so I can see a little bit of the screen. There we are. Okay. Hey. Hey, me. All right. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah. So you can see there's a big difference between me and her and me and you, right? Now, you can also, we haven't covered this yet, but you can also do he and her. So I'm talking to the audience about those two people, not me, right? The singer is now removed from the story. I call this the omnipotent observer, right? So you're like the omnipresent observer, right? You are omnipotent observer, omnipresent, right? In other words, you're kind of like a god with a small g, right? And you're looking at these two people. Now, when we're looking at those two people having a conversation, they obviously, when they talk, they have to talk like it's in the moment. So they don't want to get, again, if you're having conversation live with someone, it has to sound spontaneous, people. This is very important. It can't sound real poetic-y, right? Unless you're doing me and her, in which case you can have a moment of where you step out of the conversation and you have an inner conversation thinking, that woman is the flower of my existence. Every time she tells me blah, 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 I'm thinking to myself, she's the flower of my existence. See, that'll work, right? So you can get poetic outside the conversation. But if during a conversation, any conversation you're having live, it has to sound spontaneous. So less poetic references and less, sentence structure. We want to keep everything in the simplest order, right? Like we don't say to the bar we went. See how I turned around the what do they call it? The not the schematics, but the it's been a while since I've taught my class, so I'm forgetting these things. Syntax, right? I'm just writing these things down. I think it's spelled C-Y-N-T-A-X, syntax, all right? Yeah, exactly, Robert, yeah. So you want to keep it in a simple syntax. It needs to sound spontaneous, right? But remember that me and you is the most intimate because it forces the listener into the song where they're watching, and so they have to relate to the singer and or the singee, the other character. Me and her, I'm talking about this person. This is a conversation that she and I had. I'm just remembering it, right? We're not in the moment. I'm just remembering. And while you're remembering something, you could interject, another thought, because this is a recollection that I had. Me and her we're hanging at the bar the other day, and she said to me, I finally got to tell you that I love you. And at that moment I thought to myself, holy Christmas, what the heck is going on here? Now, you would not say that to her because that would scare her away, right? So we can have inner thoughts and poetic things with me and her, but with me and you, it's harder to do because when I'm in the moment with me and you, it's harder to come out of it, out of that me and you moment and go, meanwhile I'm thinking to myself. Do you see how that it's kind of awkward? It doesn't really work. And he and she, when you're in he and she, there's a magic thing that happens with he and she. When you get into the third person where both characters are or she and she or he and he, whatever, when you get into that and you're the omnipresent narrator, you're the omnipotent observer, you can This is great. Are you ready? You can get inside the thoughts of each character. You can say, for instance, meanwhile, he was thinking, I don't know if I can go through with this forever relationship. She said to him, I'm ready to say I love you. He says to himself, meanwhile, he's thinking, I don't know if I can get into this. I'm not sure. See what I mean? I can get in. And then meanwhile, she's thinking, I'm not sure if he's ready to hear this, but I got to tell him anyway. See what I mean? You can get into their inner dialogue because you're the omnipresent God with a small g. You can read their minds. Isn't that great? You can actually read their minds. Me and her, no, you can't read her mind. Me and you, no, you can't read her mind. You can read your mind. You can have inner conversations, but it's, again, harder to have inner conversations when it's me and you. Much easier to think me and her. Now you can have inner conversations, right? Okay, so we got a little template there of me and you, me and her, and then he and her, she and her, him, they and them. You got my drift. Okay. Yes, that's right. Yeah. She come back to tell me she's gone. That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she come back to tell me she's gone. That's a very funny statement, actually. Because there's an opposite there. She comes back to say she's gone, and that is one of the three tools that songwriters have. Songwriters have, besides their spark, right? Besides the spark, which is their wonderful creative power in the moment of that creative moment. Every spark is unique and different. It's just like lightning. There are no two strikes of lightning that look the same. Well, every time you sit down to write, it's a completely different story. That's why I say to songwriters, especially beginning songwriters, when you're feeling the juice, squeeze that sucker until it's dry. Squeeze every single drop of nectar out of that creative moment. Do not let a single drop get away. Stay in the ether. Take that ether and squeeze it until it's dry. And I call this overwriting, right? So when you're feeling the power, just write and write and write and write. Write more than you think you need if you're in the zone, right? And you know what I'm talking about, you writers out there. If you've ever been writing any kind of writing, including songwriting, there's a moment when you feel like, wow, things are really working. I'm really getting ideas. Things are flowing. You're in the flow, right? That's what I call the spark, the lightning, boom, right? Let me just write that down. Spark equals lightning. I like to make notes myself because I'm always inventing stuff as I talk, and I like the idea, I like the image that there's no two lightnings that are alike. I love that idea. That concept is really nice. And so I will pass that on in future lessons. I will. One thing teachers always know is that they are always learning as well. A teacher isn't a teacher unless they are also learning. As long as I'm learning, we're good. But the minute I think I've found my place and I know everything, ooh, that's bad. That's not good. So, just be patient with me because I'm learning right along with you. Right along with you, all right? So let's get into this song. Let's talk a little bit about the instrumentation and the singing and all that stuff. Let's talk about this. And like we do, we're going to break it down, like one verse, one chorus at a time. And let's see where we are in this song. Let's just see what's going on now. Understand that this song was cut back in the 60s. So, it has a 60s vibe to it. So, we're just going to go with the universal emotion of this song. And we won't talk about the fact that it does have a 60s kind of sound to it, right? I personally think that this song and most of the Beatles songs transcend time. That the style that they wrote in, along with many other songs, not just the Beatles, but their songs hold up today. Most of them. Some of them don't, but most of them do. Most of them do. Still today are still considered so easy and entertaining to listen to. They're just so much fun to listen to. I always feel good when I hear a Beatles song, even if it's the saddest song on the, like Blackbird is such a sad song. But it just makes me feel so good every time I hear those songs. And of course, it has to do with the history and I have memories and all that stuff. So, but here we go. All right. All right. Whoa. Okay. So let's just begin with how interesting this introduction is. And would Robert, Kyle, or Nina, would you tell me, is the volume good enough? I can plug in my equipment and get the volume louder. Would you like the volume to be louder on the song? In fact, instead of asking you, why don't I just do it? I'm going to go ahead and just get this thing going here. I'm going to plug this in and turn this on. Make sure, there we go. And yes, use. Okay, and then we're going to, it's initiating. Hold on. Okay, good. Good. All right, let's see. Let me check my, check this. Go Ringo. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Can you still hear me, people out there in Songland? Let me just go to System Preferences, and we'll go to Sound, and make sure I'm still on the internal mic. Output is USB, input is internal microphone. Good. Okay, that's the way we want it. Okay, you should hear me, right? Am I right? Somebody tell me if you can hear me. Type in. Okay, yes. Okay, good. Now when we play this, tell me if this doesn't sound a little bit better. Let's see how it sounds. All right. Is that a better sound for you? Way better, yeah. Yeah, it's better. Yeah. Okay. I'll just remember to plug it in. All right. And this is OIF. This is OIF 5. Oi. I can't help but saying oi when I think of something stressful. Yeah, I'm part Jewish. Can't help it, I've got Rosenbaum in my lineage. Oy vey, just pops out. Anywho, So, Mrs. Oy, you need to go and get this lyric. It's called Drive My Car by the Beatles. Go and get this lovely thing, all right, by the Beatles, and we're talking about it. We're talking about all the things. All right, let's start with just the intro. Whoa! I mean, what a great intro. That we have a piano, and it's kind of out of. It doesn't start. You can't tell where the downbeat is. It's kind of confusing, and then finally they land on this. I mean, I don't know how they count that off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You know, it's a funny little count. So they start it with, it's like a shout. Exactly, Robert. That's exactly what it's like. It's like, whoa, hello, people. You know, it really just grabs your attention right off the bat with that wonderful little lead, and with the funny bass line that's going along with it, and then that wonderful drum roll. Let's listen to that drum roll again. That just gets you into this thing. You know, you can't tell where the heck the downbeat is until it goes boom. Ask that girl, you know, and then finally you get where the downbeat is. So they were masters at at all aspects of songwriting, and this is a great example of a really kind of attention-getting intro. Right? You can't tell where the downbeat is. It's just a bunch of, you know, like wonderful little riffy things that are super exciting, right? And then finally we get to the downbeat, and let's just see what he's saying. Asked the girl what she wanted to be. She said, baby, can't you see? I want to be famous. I started to scream, but you can do something in between. All right. Once again, masterful writing. Let's just talk about the line rhythm first. Right? Ask that girl what she wanted to be. Ask that girl what she wanted to be. She said, listen, babe, pause. Pausing, very cool, breaking up the, you know, because when you say, ask that girl what she wanted to be, you're expecting da 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 da. She said, listen, babe, can't you see? There's an extra little syllable in there that they didn't fill with a lyric, right? So they had a little extra long pause on that second line. She said, listen, babe, can't you see? Instead of, she said, listen, babe, I want you to see. She wanted to be, oh, baby, can't you see? So there's a shorter line there. She said, baby, pause, can't you see? So I love that. I love that right away off the bat. They break it up a little bit. Again, the three tools you have besides the spark, I got distracted. Let's get back to that. The three tools you have is, besides your lightning, besides your spark, is original detail, contrast, and repetition, right? So right off the bat, we have ask that girl what she wanted to be. Now that's a very interesting opening line. It gets you, you know, opening lines are great when they get you to want to know the next line, right? So again, it's not brain surgery. It doesn't have to be poetic. It doesn't have to be eloquent. It just has to be simple English in simple syntax, but it needs to say something that gets you curious about what is going to happen. That is creating the arc of interest, right? So we've started the arc of interest on the first line. Ask that girl what she wanted to be. Now everybody wants to know, what's her answer, right? She said, listen, babe, pause, can't you see? Okay, we don't get an answer there. We just get a rhyme. By the way, that's a symmetrical couplet because it goes, ask that girl what she wanted to be. She said, baby, can't you see? There's four stresses on each one of those lines, and they end on the same boom. They end on a masculine ending. Masculine meaning they end on a stress. Ask that girl what she wanted to be. Hear that stress on the last line? She said, listen, babe, can't you see? She said, baby, can't you see? Again, stress on the last line, 4 syllables, 4 stresses. That's a symmetrical couplet. Symmetrical couplet wants to rhyme. And so they satisfied me with that, right? Yeah, can't you see? Yeah. I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what that has, Robert. That has attitude. I love this song because, and we were going to get to that, but now we're going to talk about it right away. This song has attitude. It has sass. As my sassy pants. That's what my wife says when I get a little uppity. She says, "Oh, Mr. Sassy Pants," because I get all, whatever. I get an attitude. She'll, she crush the attitude. That's why we stay in love, right? Mr. Sassy Pants, exactly. So right away we have a satisfaction. Listen to this. Ask that girl what she wanted to be. She said, listen, babe, I got news for you. Do you hear how that just goes, ah? It's like you take the needle on the record. Yeah, it doesn't sound right. All right? So symmetrical lines want to rhyme. If you don't rhyme a symmetrical couplet, you create tension that has to be resolved in the next 2 lines. So if I said, ask that girl what she wanted to be, she said, listen, baby, something you got to know. I want to be famous to start the screen, but here's a little something. But this is just how the wind's going to blow. See, so I went X-A, X-A, right? That's how I would get that to work, is symmetrical couplets that don't rhyme need another couplet to get it to rhyme, because you need to rhyme the second line. The first line doesn't necessarily have to rhyme, right? The second line is going to rhyme with the fourth line, right? So that's a way, by the way, the reason why I'm bringing this up, I know some of you are wondering, because this is a way to create tension, right? But luckily, if you do what I said and you rhyme the X-A, X-A, you get the second line to finally rhyme with the fourth line. You do finally, delayed gratification, you do get them to hear a rhyme finally, right? Okay. If it was an asymmetrical couplet, then we don't want that to rhyme, and we do want it to have another 2 lines. So ask that girl what she wanted to be. She said, baby, I know you're right. Baby, I know you're right. That doesn't make sense, but that's an asymmetrical couplet. 4 stresses on the top line, 3 on the next line. So that's an asymmetrical. Asymmetrical couplets, you don't want them to rhyme. The ear doesn't want them to rhyme. Again, if you rhyme an asymmetrical couplet, you also create tension. Just a little thing, right? Okay, to get back to this. Asked that girl what she wanted to be. She said, listen, baby, can't you see? Okay, we got a little attitude there. I want to be famous, a star of the screen, but you can do something in between. All right? So the girl, this is so cool, because the girl wants to be famous, right? So we know the most famous human beings on the planet back then were the Beatles. And so this most famous person in the whole world is asking his girlfriend, what you want to be? She says, I want to be famous, a star of the screen, right? So it's like, it's a wonderful way of kind of passing the buck and what's the word? Not self-grandizing, but the opposite of that, where you're bringing yourself, you're underplaying your power, right? Self, is it machination? What's the word? Machination? Macadocious? No, you know what I'm talking about, right? You guys know, you gals know. At any rate, so it's kind of, it's, to me, it's very interesting because in a song like this, we do have a star factor involved in this. The star factor being, this is the biggest band in the universe singing this song, the biggest band ever. So you already have this huge star power. So whatever they say has this star quality to it, has this huge unspoken power and impact. So when you say, ask the girl what she wanted to be, she said, listen, baby, can't you see? I want to be famous, a star of the screen. And you're thinking, she's not kowtowing down to me, who's the biggest man in the world. She's got an attitude to me. And she's saying, hey, you might be Paul McCartney, but I'm going to be famous, a star of the screen. It's probably based on a true story. In fact, I could look it up. I actually have the book that talks about all the reasons why all the songs were written. It's called A Hard Day's Right. And I could actually look that one up if I could find that book real quick. Where is that book? I thought it was right. Oh, there it is. A Hard Day's Right. Hang on. Let's look this up. It's just you and me, right? It's just us chickens hanging out, right? So let's take a break and find out why they wrote this song. All right, let's look it up. Drive My Car. It might be in alphabetical order, but let's see. Help. Here we go. Rubber Soul. Drive My Car. Oh, it doesn't say what page it's on. Well, that's not helping me. Thank you. All right, well, let's just go here. I guess they're in order. Dr. Robert, yeah. And Birkin saying, okay. Yeah, they're in the order of the album. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Getting to it. Eleanor Rigby, yeah. Rain. Getting to it. Here we go. Drive My Car. Here we go. It says, first hearing of Drive My Car might suggest that the Beatles are telling some baby to drive their car, but closer inspection, the lyrics reveal that the male narrator who is being asked to do the driving, he's trying to chat someone up using a well-known line. Let's see, the woman tells him this. Paul remembers this song as the only one he got stuck on. McCartney got stuck on it, the storyline being pulled together at the last minute with some help from John. When he arrived at Abbey Road on October 20th, 1965 to record the song, the chorus was, I can get you some golden rings. I can give you anything. Baby, I love you. John dismissed this as crap. And so the two of them huddled together to create the alternative and came up with Baby, You Can Drive My Car, a tougher, more sexually charged image, which in turn gave rise to the beep, 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 yeah, background vocals. So, so it doesn't say where it came from. Let's see, the idea of the girl being the bitch was the same, but the change made the key line better. 2 days after recording Drive My Car, Paul told the Music magazine, we've written some funny songs with jokes in. We think that comedy numbers are the next thing after protest songs. Okay, the bass line was patterned after Donald Duck Dunn's playing on Otis Redding's Respect. which had been released a month before Drive My Car. All right. So the song was just totally made up. And then, and John had a kind of a light, puffy version. And then, boom, John came in with the attitude, right? I love that. I love that. Okay, so we know where the song came from. There's one thing, to continue with the rhyme scheme with this song, with this verse. Remember when we hear da-da-da-da-da-da B, da-da-da-da-da-da C. Okay, that's an asymmetrical couplet that rhymes. So now my ear wants to go on to another rhyme, right? That's called the rule of two, right? The rule of one being one emotional message per song. Rule of two is once you've done two of something repeated, you want to move on. Rule of three is as a reference, there should be three musical motives, three musical sections that are different from each other per song, right? That's not always true. Sometimes there's 4 and 5, and sometimes there's only 2. But 3 is a nice general rule. Also, the rule of 3 is you want to hear the hook and or the chorus 3 times also. There are a few exceptions where the chorus only comes twice, but that's usually because the chorus is really, really long. We call that a chorus-heavy song, where there's no time for a third chorus because it's such a long chorus. And we'll actually talk about that. We can talk about that later. In fact, I know the perfect song for that. It's a country song. Chorus. I'll put chorus heavy. Song. And I know the song. I just can't think of the name of it right now. It's a country song that I use, and it's a great song. She's got daddy's money, my mama's good looks, more than a stack of comic books. Look who's staring at me. I'll just have to try to remember what's the name of that song. Is it called Daddy's Money? Anyway, that's a great song. Anyway, get back to this one. So after 2, after wanna be, can't you see, we're thinking it's going to move on, but it doesn't. So this fact that we keep hearing the E sound creates tension, right? You go star of the screen and in between, right? So we've created tension by having 4 of the E. B, C, screen, in between, right? So a little tension is created. And hey, what's wrong with creating a little tension, boom, before the chorus? No brainer? That's what I said. Okay, let's see what we got here. And I love the complexity of this. Ask the girl what she wanted to be, okay? So I'm talking to the audience. I asked that girl over there what she wanted to be. And she said, listen, baby, can't you see? I'm going to be famous, the star of the screen, but you can do something in between, all right? So I'm telling you what she says, and notice that sounds to me fairly spontaneous, right? She said, hey, baby, can't you see? I want to be famous, the star of the screen. But you can do something in between. You know, it has, of course, it's a little bit poetic. Hey, it's a song. Hello. It's a poem. It's a lyric. So, you know, a little bending of the rules, fine. Okay. But it basically sounds spontaneous. And I love the attitude. So we've got third person and then me and you, right? She said, baby, can't you see? She's talking to the singer, right? I love that. She's talking to the singer. I want to be, this girl, I want to be famous, the star of the screen, but you can do something in between. And it's very confusing because you say you, meaning the singer. And that's where the confusion came. After about the 3rd or 4th listen, you're realizing, oh, wait a minute. It's the girl that wants to be famous, not the singer, not Paul McCartney. She wants to be famous, and she's going to let the most famous human being on the planet drive her car. Whoa, aren't you so freaking generous, right? So let's move on to the chorus, right? Oh, and the line rhythm. So I love this, the last line musically, but you can do something in between. Notice that, da, 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 da. Let's listen to that again. It's a contrast situation, right? Like repeat, repeat, repeat. All the first three lines sound basically the same, but then they break it up with a new chord and a new line rhythm. Contrast, right? And they have a really interesting chord there. That chord is like a suspended, it's like a, let's just see what key it's in first.
But you can do something in between. Maybe you can drive my car.
Baby, you can drive my car. Baby, you can drive my car. Be a star. But you can do something. Yeah, it's a suspended, but you can do something in between. Nothing in between. You can do something, you can do something. It's you can do something. It's like, it sounds like a minor 5. But you can do something in between. They might be playing a suspended 1. There. There's a nice chord. That's a A minor. See, there's the 7th. There's the minor. Sorry. Oh, I guess, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's the 7th. Is the 7th. Yeah, so we got a 7th. There's the suspended 1. You can do something in between. You can drive my car. There's gonna be a star. Da, 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 da. Yeah, very cool. Very cool chords that they came up with. And the different line rhythm, a unique chord, right? Very cool. Very cool. Really gets your attention. There goes that arc of interest rising and rising, right? Keep it going up. A little contrast on the last line. And then it says, I want to be famous, but you can do something in between. I love that, but you know, she's going to tell him a new little bit of information going into the chorus. That's a wonderful way to transition into a chorus, is to have the character saying, but here's a new bit of information for you that you're going to find out in the chorus. So let's see what that new information is.
Yes, I'm gonna be a star.
Whoops.
Yes, I'm gonna be a star. Baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm gonna be a star. Baby, you can drive my car. And baby, I love you.
Wow, man. Just such a great song. Um, so, baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm going to be a star. Baby, you can drive my car. So those are all da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Right? Notice the last line was broken up and different contrast. So we have repetition on 3, and then the last one is, and baby, I love you, baby, I love you. Interesting, it's got 2 stresses, baby, I love you, and then the U is thrown out. That's a feminine ending. Baby, I love you. It could have gone, baby, you're mine, right? That would have been da 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 ba. So you have an ending on a stress, which even though the line's shorter, it still has. It's a surprise. It would be two stresses instead of 4. Baby, you can drive my car. Oh, actually, there are 3 stresses on these. Yes, I'm going to be a star. So notice the verse has 4 stresses per line. Ask that girl what you wanted to be. 4 right now. Baby, you can drive my car. Notice that drive my car is it's pushed ahead. Baby, you can drive my car would have been right on the beat, but they went ahead of the beat. Baby, you can drive my car ahead of the beat. Baby, you can drive my car instead of baby, you can drive my car. Hear the difference? Baby, you can drive my car. There's the there's where the downbeat is, where the stress is. So ahead of the stress. Good. Creating tension. Baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm gonna be a star. Same push. Baby, you can drive my car. Now we start to change the chords there. Take my car, baby, I love you. Da 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 da. A double stress. Da da, right? Baby, I love you. Da, 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 So it gives a kind of a faux feminine ending. Baby, I love you. But the U isn't really thrown away because they stress it also. So it's a double stress, really. Baby, I love you. Right? But it's off the beat. So it's just great. A great tension there. Right? Really wonderful, wonderful tension. And again, whoa, surprise. Baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm going to be a star. We already know that. But the new information is the car, right? Baby, you can drive my car. Oh, that's interesting. She repeats that. Repetition. Where? On the hook. No brainer again, right? Perfect. Perfect song. And then they end it with a tagline. It could have gone, baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm gonna be a star. Baby, you can drive my car. Could have ended with the hook. But instead, tagged it with an attitude line, right? And maybe I'll fall in love with the most important person and the handsomest bachelor in the universe. Yeah, maybe I'll fall in love with you. Yeah, maybe. Okay? So the understatement of that is massive, right? So, yeah, it is a lampoon, right? Exactly. It's that kind of a thing. It is that kind of a thing, yes. Okay, Daddy's Money. Oh, Ricochet, yeah, Daddy's Money. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Oi. Yeah, thank you. That's right. It is Daddy's Money. That's exactly what it's called. Thank you. Yeah, that's good. We'll get to that song in one of our sessions. That's why I wrote it down, because it's a really great example of a chorus heavy song. When we get to that kind of thing, we're right now into conversation songs, and that song is actually having a conversation with the audience. You know, he's talking to the audience about the situation, right? Anyway, let's move on with this one. Let's see where it goes. I think we've covered everything. That's that girl you want. That's that girl you want to be. Can't you see? You know, they're singing the 7 there. Here's, it's in the key of D. And they're singing, that's that girl, what she wanted to be. That's that girl, what she wanted to be. She said, listen baby, can't you see? Gonna be famous, star on the screen. But you can do something. Oh, here's that chord. You can do something in between. Nice, huh? So he's singing the 7, which is a very bluesy R&B thing to do. And so it's funny that they referenced that song, that soul tune. That's very interesting. I don't remember which one it was. Was it Heard Through the Grapevine? I can't remember anymore. Anyway, we closed the book. Moving on. But you got the idea, right? Singing the da 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 ba 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 creates a very bluesy vibration when you're playing the 7th. 7th chords are all about blues. There's that 7. That's coming up to the 7. Oh no, there's the 7. Sorry. Yeah, we're going from the minor to a major. See that, but this is the disregard this. This is standard tuning because I have it tuned down. So I'm up on the 5th fret, playing A. I'm barring the 5th fret, and then there's that chord that I came up with is. Yeah. Anyway, little bits and pieces, putting this all together, right? Okay, good. All right, let's see where we go with the 2nd verse. So, using those blues notes creates that kind of funky, soul-y, R&B kind of vibe to the song. Very cool. You can do that with your song.
I told that girl that my prospects were good. She said, baby, it's understood. Working for peanuts is all very fine, but I can show you a better time.
All right. I told that girl that my prospects were good. Now, that's paraphrasing, right? I told that girl that my prospects were good. We said I didn't say I told that girl, quote, hey, my prospects are good. That's a paraphrase. So he could have, because it was a paraphrase and because it's a he and her, he could have put a poetic line in there. He could have said, I told that girl that my clouds were blowing away, you know. In other words, it could have been a little bit paraphrasy. But I told that girl that my prospects were good. He may not have worded it that way. He might have said, I told that girl. What he actually said was, hey, I think I'm going to be pretty cool I've got this little band called the Beatles. I think it's going to work out all right. So he's just paraphrasing it, saying, I told that girl that my prospects were good. So not exactly what he said, but sort of the idea. And then she said, now she's actually talking. So again, we have to go back to spontaneous conversation that doesn't sound too poetic. She said, baby, it's understood. Working for peanuts, hey, that's all very fine. But I can show you a better time. You can drive my car, right? So again, keeping it conversational. And then again, that last line, I can't show you, that wonderful breaking up on that last line of the line rhythm really sets up that chorus, right? So he's talking about I'm saying prospects were good, which is a total joke, and everybody got the joke, by the way, because the Beatles were on top of the world. And then she said, baby, it's understood, working for peanuts. Now, of course, that is the biggest joke in the universe, because by this time, by the time Rubber Soul came out, all four of those Beatles were multi-millionaires. Multi-millionaires at that point. They had more money than the Bank of Switzerland. I mean, really. The bank that they put their money in sank like 3 feet from the weight of the money that they made. Are you with me? Following me? Okay. Just saying. So the humor in that is just amazing. The massive understatement of that creates this very funny situation, right? And I can show you a better time. I love the attitude again. The girl's just going, hey, you think you're a Beatle, but I'm going to be famous, and hey, I got a car, right? Or so she says, right? And then we go through the...
Baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm gonna be a star. Baby, you can drive my car. And baby, I love you.
Here we go.
Beep, 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 yeah.
Isn't that great? That beep, 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 yeah. I just love that. Just the thing about this band, and they're not the only band to do this, but they were famous. One of the things that made the Beatles so popular was the fact that they threw off and didn't make serious anything they did. Everything was so last minute, thrown together. Let's just record this album, turn on the tape machine, first pass, we're done. That's what it sounded like. Of course, it wasn't really that way. But they sounded very spontaneous. And this was one of those things, those spontaneous kind of throwaway lines, beep, 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 yeah, creates more humor, right? And I just love the idea that they just kind of came up with it like, oh, let's just throw in something, beep, 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 yeah, It's just kind of a fun little creative moment, little throwaway humor, right? That didn't have any meaning or anything else, but it just sounded great. So again, don't be afraid to do in your song, especially if it's a fun song like this, to have a moment where you're just making up little like ooh-wee, ooh-ah, la-la, ding-a-ling, Make up stuff. It's fun, right? It's fun. It just adds to the fun. And people love to go beep, 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 yeah. They love to do that with the Beatles, right? They just love to do that stuff. So now, a wonderful little post-chorus. That's a post-chorus. And then we have this killer little slide guitar part. The never-ending humor, and that this is I mean, I just love the fact that John Lennon got in on this song and created that attitude. You know, I mean, it's just such a great. It is the best part. You really just crack up and start laughing at this point. She doesn't even have a car. She doesn't have a car. I mean, the mountains of humor in this, understatement, is just massive. Because Paul McCartney and John Lennon could have bought her 50 Rolls Royces. 50. Not 48, not 49. 50 Rolls Royces without even blinking an eye, right? So funny, so funny. I just think that was, and what is that? It's a surprise. It's a surprise ending, right? It's a twist ending. And you don't hear, in modern pop music, you very, very rarely hear twist endings. Because anytime you have a twist ending, it takes the heaviness out of the song. And pop and rock, they want to sound heavy and cool, and they don't want to break the cool factor in today's pop music and rock music. They don't want to break that cool. They want to stay cool. And so if you throw humor into a song, into a pop song today, and you try to pitch it, you're going to have a very hard time getting that song cut on pop. Now, on country still goes for the twist and the humor and the storyline. They still do that, right? Now, I will say Ed Sheeran has been pretty funny and ironic in that song Don't, which we've, by the way, gone over in past sessions, right? Sesiones. We've gone over that song. And there's a massive amount of humor and irony in that song. The humor in the irony. In other words, he's laughing at how ridiculous this whole thing is, right? That's what irony is you laugh at the pain, right? Like things completely fell apart. Can you know, I mean, I can't believe how ridiculous that all was. That's what the core of irony means. When things completely fall apart, you laugh at it and make fun of it, right? That's the irony. It's so ironic. At any rate, I told the girl I could start right away, and she said, listen, babe, I got something to say. Now, that's repeating. Notice that that's echoing the first verse. Now, this is a great tip for you songwriters out there. Don't hesitate to use the template from a previous verse to pop onto the next verse, right? And that's what they did. I told that girl I could start right away. I asked that girl what she wanted to be. She said, listen, baby, can't you see? She sets up what she's going to say, right? And the same thing. I told that girl I could start right away, and she said she's going to set up, listen, babe, I got something to say. She doesn't say what it is yet. The third line is the information. I got no car, and it's breaking my heart. And I love the fact that it's breaking my heart. I mean, it's just hilarious. It's like she's getting around. She's not apologizing. She's keeping her attitude up, right? I got no car, and I got no car, and hey, it's breaking my heart, you know? It's not like, I lied to you, I got no car, I'm sorry, okay? No, she keeps the attitude going. And the car is breaking my heart. But I've got a driver, and that's a start. Oh, that's just great. And the other thing I noticed is that this is a simple verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. And then what do we have? So we don't have a bridge, right? This is the standard old-fashioned rock form. Oh, that's another great one that we could talk about forever. Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry, come on. Are you kidding me? The Chuckster invented, pretty much by himself, hardcore, rock and roll, guitar-based rock and roll. He pretty much did it on his own, on his very own. Doing the walk across the stage and everything. Oh, look what I've got here. Look what I've got here. What is this? Let me walk around. Let me see. What is this? Is this a Chuck Berry? Is this a Chuck Berry guitar? What is this? Well, it's an Epiphone. But he played a Gibson 335. This is an Epiphone 339. It's got a smaller body. It weighs less. But it does the same damage, right? So, you know, I got a lump in my throat when I saw her walking down the aisle. I got a wiggles in my knees when she looked at me and squeezed a smile. I think he was the first guy to play behind his back and all this stuff, right? Great. The great thing about this one, watch this. You ready? Did you hear that? Humbucking pickup, single coil pickup. What? That's right. Very cool. It's a very expensive guitar. Very expensive. It cost me like $495 or something. Yeah, that's right. You heard me right. Super inexpensive guitar. Sounds great. It's got a million different tones to it. A million different tones, right? Okay, where were we? Oh, let's finish this song.
Baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm gonna be a star. Baby, you can drive my car. And baby, I love you. Beep, 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 yeah. Beep, 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 yeah. Beep, 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 yeah.
Is that slide guitar? Isn't that great? So we have an outro, which was introduced just before the instrumental. Very nice little balance of technique there. Introduce the outro, one line of it, keep it short and sweet. Beep, 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 yeah. And they liked it so much, they said, let's just end the song with just beep, 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 yeah. And it's a killer way to end it, right? And oh yeah, and that's that chord. Repetition, isn't it? It could have gone beep, 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 yeah. Beep, 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 yeah. Beep, 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 beep. Where is it? Beep, 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 yeah. Beep, 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 yeah. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 yeah. Yeah. Beep, beep, beep. Could have gone to that. Beep, beep. That's a 2. 2 minor. Beep, 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 yeah. Yeah. But instead, the repetition. Robert says he needs a car. So the repetition, they just kept it. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Hey, Robert needs a car. Anybody got a car out there? You know, you might want to chime in and hook him up with a car. I actually had a car. A friend of mine had a car for sale, and I tried to get it to one of my friends, but it got sold before I had a chance to. Oh, wonderful. Okay, People, we're done for today. We did beep, 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 yeah. And we talked about a conversation between me and her, but she talks back to me and she calls me you. Kind of confusing, isn't it? But it worked. Especially after you listen to it about 2 or 3 or 4 times and you realize, oh wow, she's saying that the superstar can drive her car. And that little twist made it funny, and then it kept getting funner and funner and funner, right? Yeah, yeah. I get around town to town. Yeah, we should do a Beach Boys song sometime. We should break down some Beach Boys songs. They are masters at songwriting and production. Yeah, they were fantastic. I love those guys. At any rate, we're done for today, and we'll just continue this conversation-y thing. We'll do hello, goodbye for sure, and then maybe I'll find another conversation song also. Yes, the Beach Boys. Well, I was 12 years old in 1956, so my first real love was Buddy Holly, and he's another guy who played guitar, wrote songs, and sang, right? So he was the white version of Chuck Berry. So Buddy Holly and Chuck Berry were my 2 big heroes. And right under that was Rick Nelson, Fats Domino, Elvis Presley, and Little Richard, Jerry Lee Lewis. Oh, and the Everly Brothers. I love the Everly Brothers. The only trouble with the Everly Brothers was if you were the neighborhood superstar, which I was, right? I had like 10 avid followers. They all lived, within 3 or 4 houses of me. And they would come over to my house and I would play the guitar and sing, and they would hang out and drink beer. That's right, yeah, we drank beer underage, which is another story, in our house, because my mama said, hey, if you're going to drink, at least drink where you're not going to get hurt. And so she would go out and buy us a 6-pack, and we would sit around and drink beer, and I would play. I forgot what I was trying to say. I got lost. Anyway, I had a great time back then. Yeah, so the Beach Boys weren't my first love. They came later. But once the Beach Boys, came out with their very first songs, I went bonkers over the Beach Boys. They instantly became my favorite band, bar none. The Beach Boys could do no wrong. I used to sit on the floor. I took the speakers off the shelf. My folks were lucky enough to have a really good stereo system back then. And we had Wharfdale speakers that were about like this big. And they had sand in them to make them heavy. They don't do that anymore. Anyway, I would take them off the shelf, put them on the floor, and I would lie on the floor with the 2 speakers like this. And I would hear the Beach Boys singing around me because the stereo spread of their voices. God, I love the Beach Boys. I loved them. And then the Beatles came along, and then I loved them both the same. I loved the Beach Boys, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, the Beatles. And the Rolling Stones came in there, and I loved the Rolling Stones, Beach Boys, Beatles, Rolling Stones. I loved them all. I thought they were fantastic. Anyway, that's it for today. Let me get on the log here so I can see myself. Where am I? There I am. Hey. So I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks, Kyle. Love you guys. And give what you can to the CreatiVets. Reach out with your heart and throw them a few bucks here and there. They really need the money to keep going and to keep this thing alive. It takes money to make all this work. So, contributions from folks like you really, really help. And I love you all, and I will see you Friday with more conversation songs, all right? Starting with hello, goodbye, all right? Until then, keep it on a double nickel. See you on the flip-flop. Adios, amigos.